Hello, Earthlings. Great day. Peace and love. Peace and love. Peace and freaking love. Y'all, I know this is weird, but guess what? I thought it would be pretty cool. Uh-huh. How y'all doing today? I am going to get to the point. Okay. We're going to go to the fifth element today. All right. Y'all, first of all, why the damn elementary school kids pulled up today singing? Move, bitch. Get out the way. Get out the way, bitch. The whole bus. They had the bus rocking. The elementary kids, by the way. But anyway, that ain't even what I'm here to talk about. Well, partially. Anyway, many of you aren't friends with me on my Facebook page, but some of you are. So I'm going to inform you all why I'm here today. I just made a post today that kind of, I know, shook the planet a little bit. Basically, I have a daughter, and my daughter was in middle school a couple years ago, and she got approached in her DM by a music teacher at her school. And he was basically trying to bait her up. I'm just going to get to the point. He was trying to bait my baby up to get, her to feel comfortable enough to converse with him. I thank God that she was comfortable enough to come and talk to me about this stuff, But I didn't want to come and talk to her about it sooner. I didn't want to say anything about this stuff sooner because of, out of respect and confidentiality of my child. But, I realize now it's bigger than just one person, one child, And so I made this post exposing this one guy, and his name is, I think, Tarius Hill. He was a music teacher from like 2 to 3 days out the week at Eastwood Middle School in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. He's from Hope, Alabama. And I don't like to expose people, but in this case, I think this calls for exposure. And I don't know him personally, and I'm not here to bash anybody's character. I'm not here to, make anybody look bad, but the truth has to be spoken. Um, and I just look at it like if you don't do certain things, you don't have to worry about being exposed. But that's another story. Anyway, so I think you spell his name Tarious, and his last name is Hill. So yeah, he's a guitar player. He's a musician, and he's well known and well respected. And at the time that it happened, when he approached my daughter in her DM, I it was so many emotions that rushed through me because at that point in time I was like, Lord, my child ain't even safe at school. And, but she didn't want to bring no attention to herself or anybody else for that matter. She didn't want to get nobody in trouble. It's not like he had touched her or done nothing, but, it probably could have eventually got to that had I not been notified by her sooner. So I thank God, for having that communication line open with my daughter to where she can talk to me, about stuff like that. And by her being a middle schooler, that was scary because I'm like, God, I'm a single mom, right? And it's already hard trying to protect your baby enough at home and, in regular life. But then for them to go to school and the music teacher is the one that's doing it. So then so many other emotions start rushing up because it brings up, the past and my upbringing. So now at this point, I'm like, okay, well, what do I do? Let me call her dad. Let me talk to her dad about it. But then I had to think about it. I had to think about it. When you met him, you was 17 and he was 22. He was 6 years older than you and he had no business even talking to you. And you wanted to call him and expect him to understand. Okay. So my thing is now I'm looking at it like, okay, God, well, shoot, he's okay. I did notify him, but he was, in his mind, it's like, he's okay, but it's just the fact that, like, you don't see no problem in what you do. You know what I mean? When it comes to what we do around here, we don't see we don't see no problem in what we do, So I felt alone at that point in time because, I was hidden, by me being 17 years old. I'm looking for, you know, really my father figure in my life. So I would find it in my men. And I tried dating younger guys, but that didn't work. That didn't fill the void. So, me being in middle school, almost high school, talking to grown men was very unacceptable. And, the thing was because I lacked the attention that I needed and the masculinity that I needed. Because I had my father figure in my life all the time like I needed it, then I wouldn't have been out seeking it, if that makes sense. And so, I look at it like, okay, well, where did that come from? Well, this stems all the way back to history, right? Because you got to think about it. Many of our mothers and grandmothers and great grandmothers and all of these people have been raped and molested, and cousins and aunties have been touched and molested, and all kind of incest going on, and nobody speaking up about it. And what it did was it recycled itself into your bloodline, and your kids inherit that bad behavior. So, of course, that's where I get, in my mind, okay, it's okay, to deal with older guys. You know what I mean? It was okay because you got to think about it. I'm 12 and 13 being preyed on by older men, granddaddies and uncles and stuff like that. Ooh, you fine. You sure got some pretty legs on you. And when you young and you lack a masculine in your energy, that's a real masculine father figure, you tend to fall for anything, right? Because you ain't standing for nothing. So they could come and say I was pretty, and I'm fine, and they'll give me money, and I would fall for some of it because I didn't know no better. You feel what I'm saying? So when I got older, in my mind, it was okay to talk to, and that I wasn't even that much older because I'm 17, with a 22-year-old boyfriend. But I was with him. He wasn't with me, until I got pregnant. And then that's when, boom, oh, shoot, got to tell mama about it now. You know what I mean? And see, that's why, I'm doing this video, because many of our mothers and grandmothers and aunties and cousins and uncles and, males too, they're not excluded. We've been through some things. We've all experienced some stuff, but we don't talk about them. And because we don't talk about it, it repeats itself. History repeats itself because you want to pack it down in silence and suffer in silence, because that's what you end up doing when you don't speak up about the things that, hurt you. And many of us, I come from back in the time where when we spoke up about being raped or molested or almost being raped or molested or touched, we were shushed. Shh, shh, shush, child. And we grew up thinking, okay, it's okay to be abused. It's okay to take abuse. It's okay to let a man jump on you physically, spiritually, sexually, emotionally. And it's okay because that's what you grew up taking. And because you've been shushed all your life, you're supposed to keep shushing yourself throughout your adulthood. So you think, oh, okay, I'm fine. I'm good. I got over it. No, you didn't. Because now that seed, or those seeds that you have produced, is now finna inherit the same thing. Because you did not face it. You did not speak up about it. You did not own up about it. Yes, these type of things is hurtful to talk about. No, it's not easy to come and say, hey, mama, my granddaddy tried to touch me. My uncle raped me. My auntie was playing with my penis. You know what I mean? I know these things are not easy to come and talk about, but it's necessary, because if you don't, then your kids will end up in that same cycle. And so I had to speak this truth, because it's not just about my child. It's not just about me. It's about others that have been hushed and shushed because that was what we've always known to do. But just don't know that you are hurting your lineage, your children, yourselves. Because the more you hold on to that shit and don't talk about it, and then act like it don't exist, it'll always find a way to resurface itself back to you. That's life. That's how it go. Everything that go around come back around, right? So I have to speak this truth because I don't want mine being preyed on. I don't want mine to inherit that darkness. Because a lot of times we think inheritance is money. No, inheritance is bad behaviors and unhealthy things, all kind of stuff. There's so many ways to inherit stuff, right? So, and this is why it's important for a child to have the father and the mother in their life, even if they are not together. And they should be able to work in unison for the sake of the children, because then if not, the kids end up going out in the streets seeking what they've been missing with you two. And because a lot of us are so caught up, oh, well, he don't want me, so fuck him. I'm a da-da-da-da-da. She don't want me, so I'm going to make her life a living hell. I ain't going to take care of the kids. I pay child support, so I ain't got to do nothing, da-da-da. All of that jazz, when you get through with it at all, it ain't hurt nobody but them seeds. And those seeds are going to be just like you, that were thrown in that soil, and they grew into big, grown little children. Because that's what's wrong with our planet now. You got a lot of our adults still kids, still stuck at the age they were raped and molested at. Still stuck at those dark times that they were hushed. They saw some things that they couldn't unsee. You got a lot of adults who think, okay, well, I'm fine now. I'm grown. I done got over it. No, that's why a lot of us are drunken. That's why a lot of us are full of drug addicts. That's why a lot of us are very promiscuous. That's why a lot of wickedness is taking place, because we think we have gotten over the hurt, but we have allowed it to seep out in other areas in our life. So that's when accidental deaths and stuff begin to happen. You know what I mean? I hope I'm making sense. I know I'm all over the place, and I know this is a lot of information to take in, but I'm finna help free somebody today. It ain't about just one person. Now, I don't hate the guy that was in my daughter's inbox. At the time that it happened, I ain't gonna lie, I grew some hate a little bit. I grew a little hate because I wanted to go off, because this man is in my daughter's inbox saying, hey, I've been looking for you. You so pretty. I've been looking for you online. You could talk to me whenever you feel like it. Anytime. And I wanted to say something to the man. I wanted to go and report the man. I wanted to expose the man. I wanted to do so many things. But I had to stop and take it to God first. And many people say, well, Seven, why you wait years later to speak up about it? Because like I said, I wanted to keep that bond. That bond between me and my daughter is precious to me. And her confidentiality is precious to me. And so at that time, I didn't want to put her in no awkward situation. She had to go back to that school. I didn't want to embarrass her, put her under no spotlight. I didn't want any of that. So I kept myself quiet because I wanted to, appease people, I guess. But see, I'm learning now to stop people pleasing, because people pleasing ain't saving nobody. So today, out of nowhere, I'm minding my business, scrolling on Facebook, which I usually don't do during the week anyway, but 4 or 5 o'clock, because I try to stay focused. But today, I just decided to get online, and boom, in my feed, in my people you may know, there's this guy who was in my daughter's inbox. And then all of those sore feelings just started surfacing right back up. All of those things that I thought I had packed down and said I had got over, I was done, we good, she in high school, we got to worry about it no more. But it was always in the back of my mind, what if he do it again? What if, how many other kids have he done it to before mine? Right? It's so many things that went through my mind, but I still wanted to, because I'm such a private person, I still wanted to just keep my peace. But truth be told, I didn't. By not speaking up, it caused more of a ruckus than peace. Because, you know, you don't know how many kids since then have been targeted. And it's not just him, but it's so many other guys out here that's well respected. Because I have a cousin, which I won't disclose the information, but too much information. But I had a cousin that was, that's a part of the LGBTQ community. And this person was dealing with a bishop. Yeah, a bishop. Said that the bishop held him at gunpoint and made him have sex with him. At gunpoint now. And see, it be them motherfuckers. Excuse my French, but don't excuse my French. It be them motherfuckers that's highly respected that nobody would ever suspect in a million years to be the one to be a predator. But them be the ones. Them be the ones. Then they love to try to, when you speak up, they try to make you seem crazy because you by yourself. Because see, many folks ain't got balls enough to tell on their asses. But it's time to lay these burdens down, y'all. We got to lay these burdens down. I ain't the only one. Don't judge me. Don't act like I am. Don't act like I am because y'all know I'm not. But if you don't face that shit and heal it now, your kids is only going to repeat that cycle. Just like you did. Just like your mama and them did. Just like your grandmama and them did. And so on and so on. And our ancestors are tired of the same cycle. Our ancestors have passed on, but they like, damn, is y'all niggas gonna change anything? Is y'all niggas gonna speak up? Because we didn't. We didn't open our mouths. And half of us, we did, but we probably got killed for doing it. We probably got hung for doing it. We didn't have the resources to do it. We didn't have the internet to do it. We didn't have the fifth element. Oh, God, this go deep. This shit go deep. Now y'all see why I had to do this and then the blue. Ooh. Baby, some of y'all might need to go watch the fifth element. Because, baby girl, when I tell y'all, today is the day to break these chains. So if you have been raped, molested, or any of that, or almost, I don't care if it's been 20 years ago. I don't care if that person is dead and gone. It's time to speak your truth. But lovingly speak your truth. Ask the Most High to help you lovingly from your heart speak your truth, because we're not here to hurt nobody. We're here to heal. People are already hurt. Only hurt people hurt people. That's the reason why you got pedophiles and rapists and molesters and all of that, because it probably happened to them. So I can't hate them. I can't hate them because it probably happened to them. And in their mind, it's okay, acceptable behavior, but it's really not. So I don't care if you got to pull out a pen and a piece of paper and write a letter to that individual and tell them how you felt at the moment. Talk from that space of that inner child. Talk from that space of where you was at that moment it happened. As if you are talking to that person right there. Because see, a lot of us ain't got the confidence to talk to people in person, or some people are not open enough to allow you to do it. But you got to free yourself. You cannot stay imprisoned in your mind and in your heart because of somebody else's wrongdoings, somebody else's mishaps. And what we are here to do today is to free some folks. It ain't to hate nobody. Everybody saying, well, you should report his ass. You should da-da-da-da-da. Guess what I did? I reported him to my Most High God. I let the universe deal with people. I don't have to go and put my hands on a lot of things. My prayer is so powerful. All I got to do is just speak it, and it shall be. And I just asked God, I asked God to stop him in his tracks if he ever attempted it again. And many of you say, well, praying ain't enough. Well, get your non-believing asses away from me. Because, baby, all it takes is the size of a mustard seed. But like I said, my faith is way bigger than a mustard seed. And God has shown up and shown out many a days in my life, especially the days I thought he wasn't there. So I know the Most High God is taking care of this thing. But today I had to free some folk. I had to free myself. Somebody gonna sleep good tonight. I know I am. Damn, I look good in blue. Woo, I look good in blue. Blue is the throat chakra, communication. It's time to speak our truth. Whew, somebody need to listen to that gospel song, Is My Living in Vain? One of my spiritual tribe members told me that yesterday. My living is not in vain, baby. You hear me? Our living is not in vain, because stuff like that, when stuff like that happen in your life, you feel like, Lord, why me? Why did that have to happen to me? Why did that person have to hurt me? But see, God had to take you through that thing. The universe had to take you through that thing to strengthen you to become the person that you are today and the person that you are about to be tomorrow. Right? But many of us, we get lost in the sauce of the pain and we say, well, God, woe is me. Why did that have to happen? We don't look at it as a life lesson that we had to grow from. And when you speak your truth to certain individuals, it can help free them. That's what, in the church they would call a testimony, right? And so another one of my tribe members sent me she always sent me a word of the day. Bless her heart. Bay Lou, I love you, girl. Shout out to Bay Lou. She said, write down a testimony of something you went through that you thought you weren't gonna make it through, but God helped you get through it, right? She said, write it down on paper, and then you tell God thank you. You tell God how you was feeling at the time you were going through it, and thank God for bringing you through it. And you write down how you got through all this stuff. Like, you literally write down the whole process. And once you do, she said, you fold it up and you give it to somebody. I thought that was absolutely gorgeous. Gorgeous. So somebody need to do that. If we're gonna spread a chain, if we're gonna pass something down worth being passed down, right? Men, I'm gonna need for you to get in control of your sexual loins, your bottom half. Women, I'm gonna need for you to do the same. Because what you're gonna do is you're gonna raise loose children. If you don't stop being loose. Like I told y'all in the beginning of this video, the little kids pulled up, elementary bus pulled up. Bitch, move, bitch, get out the way. One lady looked at me, she said, and that's why mine don't even ride the bus no more. And I don't blame her. But guess what? These kids learn this behavior. Where? At home. Everything starts at home. Everything. And that don't mean a physical place. That means at home, where you rooted from. So it's time to get to the root of the problem. Break the cycles, y'all. Damn, this was deep. It's deep. Thank you, James. I just want to thank my tribe members. Y'all know who y'all are. those number one supporters that's always there for me, that's always liking and sharing my posts and, you know, spreading the word and the love and light and helping it actually penetrate and evolve them. And, you know, I'm of service to y'all, you know, and I thank God that God uses me as a vessel to help, you know. And I ain't gonna lie, when I got ready to do this live, I was scared shitless. But then I had to realize fear is only false evidence appearing real. And I will no longer be held bound to nobody's fear, nobody's bluff, nobody's bullshit. I don't care how old you are, a new dog can learn new tricks if you want to. If you want to. But if you don't, just say that. But don't make excuses for not changing. It's time to open your mouth so that other people can be free and grow the fuck up. Excuse my French, but don't excuse my French. It's so many people are being held, and they are grown now till this day, being held captive by people that have oppressed them, whether it be later or now. Abuse is abuse, whether it be verbal, physical, spiritual, it don't matter. Abuse come in all kind of forms. And either way, when you get through with it all, it's unacceptable behavior. And this truth had to be spoken. And a lot of y'all can free yourselves from addictions now, because once you open your damn mouth and speak up and speak out and speak your truth, then you can free yourself, your lineage, and everybody else around you. Now, the people that did the problem to you, that ain't got nothing to do with you. That ain't got nothing to do with you. Like I tell people, being mad or getting angry, which I had to learn, is just a punishment to your body for somebody else's mistake. Because it's an emotion that only lasts for a certain few minutes. But we hold on to it, and it takes so much out of us when we finally calm down. You be so tired and drained. Anger is a hell of a drug. And many of us try to cope by, you know, like I said, drinking, sex, partying, clubbing, money, working, sleeping, eating. Addictions come in all kind of forms. So it's time to face why you are trying to cope. What you coping? Were you raped? Were you molested? Were you almost dead? Were you just touched? Were you verbally abused? Whatever it was, it's time to speak up and speak out about it, so you can free yourself. It ain't about hurting nobody. Because if you don't speak up, you hurt yourself. You do. And you hurt others, because guess what? Now, because you haven't spoken up, then that person can go along and keep doing it to everybody else because you haven't spoken up. And then if you don't speak up, then so on and so on and so on. How many other people have not spoken up? Think about it. All it takes sometimes is that one person to open their mouth so we can get somewhere. And I guess God decided to use my little butt today. So I know some people gonna try to come for my head like always, but y'all already know I don't give a damn. 7 already did the hard work for you. Share this live if you ain't scared. I dare you. But this ain't about just you or me. It's about us as an entirety. You feel what I'm saying? I'm not saying nothing is wrong with talking to an older person when you're old enough to talk to an older person. But if you are underage, that is considered rape. And if you are a family member doing it to your family, that's called incest. And many of y'all come from a time where y'all think it's okay because we keeping it in the family. But I'm here to let you know it's not okay. It's not okay. Because then you wonder why your children walking around with autism and Down syndrome and all these diseases and stuff. They they born with it. They fighting to get into this earthly realm. Why? Because you want to keep it in the family. So half of us going to school thinking this just our friend, don't know that's our brother, sister, and cousin too. All because we want to keep it in the family. Nobody want to talk about it, but it needs to be talked about. I don't know about y'all, but I don't want to keep that part in the family. Some things you just don't need to. And this shit got to go. Like I said, I didn't get on here to be long-winded. Thank y'all for watching me. Like I said, y'all share this live. I know it look weird, but I look good in blue. My auntie always tell me she love me in blue. Thank you, too. I love y'all. Y'all stay beautiful. And like I said, go write that letter. Go write that letter to yourself or that person. Don't matter who you want to title it to. And when you done, because I forgot to specifically say what to do with the letter. Burn it. When you're done with this letter. And like I tell people, when you writing a letter to yourself or to a person or anybody, because what you're finna do is cut the cords from this situation, right? So when you writing this letter, you want to go to this letter open. You want to pour yourself out, come straight from that inner space, right? And you want to write. I'm talking about write it if it's got to be ugly. It ain't got to be sweet all the time. You could be, if you hated this person, you know what, dear God, I hate this person. You know, dear God, I da-da-da-da-da-da-da. This person did this to me. This person hurt me. Be specific about how you feel so that you can get it out of you. You feel what I'm saying? Because if you don't get it out, you're going to mess around and let it out in other places in your life that you don't want to let it out of you. So this is why it's important to get it out on paper. Use your red pen. That would be great. And I mean, write it out. If you ain't cried, if you ain't almost fell asleep, if you ain't had to get up and take you a drink or smoke you one or take a break while doing this letter, then you ain't doing it right. When I sat down and I wrote my letters, I write letters all the time, but when I wrote my letter, it turned out to be 8 pages. Front and back. So if we add that up, that's 16 pages. So you know that took a lot of time. But guess what? I made myself sit there and go through it. Because I'd rather put in 3 pages worth of time than 3 decades worth of time not healing. You feel what I'm saying? So I fell asleep. I took me a little nap. I woke up. I cried while I was writing. I got up. I took me a shower. I fixed me something to eat. I meditated and I prayed. I came back and I started writing some more. And when I was done, I balled that letter up. I told the angels, thank you. Free me from this. Bless that person. I don't no longer want to hate them anymore, and burn it. So you can be free. So yeah. It's like you giving it to the angels right now. Like it's like an emergency. It's like they get it right then. You feel me? So something about that flame in that paper and that red pen. See, they don't want you writing that red pen because that red make a statement, as they say. So yeah. My throat's starting to feel funny. Somebody need to speak something. I just did. All right. I love y'all. I'm done for real. Now, this time, I'm gone. Peace and love. Over and out.